mommy?
Good.
Good. Good to see you. Okay, drinks first. Yes. Hey girl, so I'm actually glad you suggested this place. I've never been here.
Which is shocking.
Yeah,
to me.
it's shocking, right? Yeah, but it's cute. I like it. Which
love
and
it.
even before now, I launch into getting to know you. This brings to mind some of the questions I want to ask you.
Okay,
Like when you
okay.
suggest a place or when you decide to go somewhere, like what factors influence that. But yeah, we'll get to that. So anyway, this is my home girl. Going back however many years when we were in primary school uniforms.
Like over 15 years.
Over 15
That's
years.
crazy.
And we both still look the same. But most importantly, the reason why I invited Mommy here today is because she's actually one of the very first people I knew that was doing food blogging. So I very much want to get into her head. She has a podcast. I'm sure you guys know about it. She's going to tell us about it. We're going to get to the hard stuff. So,
Okay.
Hey girl.
Hey.
What's popping?
Not much. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, so as you said, Mamestastes. My name is Mame with one A. I promise you I know how to spell my name. It's one A. I promise. We went to school together.
Yeah.
I basically watched you work from the dessert
Yes.
company that you had to becoming an actual chef.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually very proud
Oh,
of you.
thank you.
So yeah, what about me? My blog
I'm
is...
detecting a little bit in the throat. So I'm sure people are gonna be like, is she Ghanaian? Where's she from? Where
I'm
did she
from
grow
here.
up? Okay.
I kind of grew up here. Transcontinental for a little bit, but
Okay.
I've lived here most of my life.
Okay.
Yeah, I started food blogging, I'll say like maybe 2014, 2015. Officially, I'll say 2015.
Okay.
Because that's when I was done with uni and I moved back
All right.
home. And I started it because whenever I would go to school and come back,
Right.
which was every few months, I'd come to a new restaurant. I was just like...
Yeah, in Accra, they open, if it's not a church, it's a restaurant. They're opening up one a penny, one a penny, one a penny,
It's
one a penny.
insane.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, okay, I feel like at the time that I started, there weren't many directories, should I say. There were just like people would take pictures and
Right.
say where
Where
it
they
was,
were.
but they wouldn't say anything about the food.
Right.
And I felt like if I'm not in Accra and I want to come to Accra,
Right.
I would like someone to like take pictures of where this is.
Of course.
Show me what's on the menu, give me the price range, and
Yeah.
like tell me what you feel about like
About
the
the
food
place.
and the
Yeah.
place. So I started doing it for
Okay.
fun. It's always been a hobby. I don't get paid to do this.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But I mean, shout out to people like you, because without people like you, some of us wouldn't know where to go.
Right.
There have been a couple of restaurants that you recommended. I think there was a Chinese spot in airport. I went there just because you recommended it, So there are people that, will know, hey, listen, I trust her judgment and will always keep their eyes peeled. You know what I mean?
Shout out to everyone who does like.
So maybe you should get paid. All right? I don't
now
know.
I'm getting paid in love and
Aww.
letting me know that you took my suggestion and you liked it at the very least. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
But I mean, you cook as well. I
A
know
little
from
bit.
social media you're always experimenting with recipes and stuff like that. So now we know like why you started, when you started. How far has that taken you, even so much as a hobby? And when you're not blogging, what are you doing then?
So how far it's taken me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I have an uncanny habit of not applauding myself when I should. So I don't really remember things that I've done.
Right.
But because I knew that I was coming to see you today and I was thinking about you potentially asking me this, and I was like, what the hell have you actually done? So I've spoken on panels.
Yes.
I have been on TV.
Yes.
I don't remember what we were talking about on that TV show, but I was on it.
Right?
I can say that much. I feel like before, like influencers were influencing.
Right.
One of my first influencer gigs was Kwame of Bishville.
Right.
Like, I think one of the very first times he cooked for a bunch of people, and he like made it a thing with like
Right.
a guitar player
Right.
and Kitty sang, and
Yeah.
it was very entertaining. But I was there with like,
So plot twist again. I like how this is coming. It's such a full circle moment, guys. Because, and as of when you're watching this, I don't know if it's going to be the episode before or the episode after, but we have spoken with Kwame, and you'll never guess how I got to know Kwame. It was through Kwame. Yes, and that's why I'm saying, like, this whole full, I love it. I love it for us.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
I actually got to know Kwame through you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to us.
Yeah, right? Put it in there. Yes. So good for you.
Oh my god. But yeah, so that was like one of my first influencer gigs. It was very entertaining for me because I was just like, at the time I wouldn't even consider myself a food blogger. I was just
Right.
like, I'm just doing this because I like it
You
and
like
it's
it,
fun.
right.
And at the time, food was affordable in Accra, so I could go places. But yeah, you
Yeah,
know.
right. Okay, so
yeah.
walk us through a typical. What goes into? Is it like you're driving past the road and you see the restaurant and you tell yourself, "Oh, I need to check it out," or like you hear about it? We want to know a typical day, mechanically, procedure-wise, what goes into your process because everybody's different, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give, like, when I started, it was rare for restaurants to be on Instagram or to be on anything where photos of their establishment was captured.
Yeah.
So it used to be me driving and seeing like a new restaurant. I
Right.
remember Bistro, before Bistro
Yes.
like opened, I was driving by and I was like, is this somebody's house? And they're like
Yeah.
having a dinner party, or because I had never seen it and it just popped up
Right.
out of nowhere. So I like drove past somewhere like that. But now you'll see it on Instagram or you'll
Yeah.
see it on Twitter, or
Yeah.
your baby cousin will send you a TikTok or something. That it's more like digital now.
Yeah.
As prior it was me physically driving places and seeing like new restaurants, or at least developing ones.
Right. Okay. So what's the process? Do we need like a phone, a camera? Does it matter even the quality of the photo? I feel like
Absolutely.
when you started, people were just grateful to get to know the place.
Right,
But now we're all
right.
about like aesthetics
Right,
and this
right,
and that.
right. So okay, for me, I'm gonna be that person. For
Yeah,
me,
be that person.
For me, quality of photos has always been so important. Like,
Right.
I don't have like a professional camera,
Okay.
but the camera that I do have,
Right.
I have it set to the highest resolution because
Right.
I believe that, and I mean, the phone cameras are pretty dope these days. So
Yeah.
you don't always need like a
Yeah.
full-on camera, especially for me who isn't doing this professionally.
Right. Right.
So yeah, like I think picture quality is very important. So since I began, I've always tried to take really good, clear aerial shot photos. That's usually how I take my pictures because you need to see what it looks like from the top. Like from the side, I'm not really feeling that angle. I like it from the top so I can see what's going on the plate, and it kind of captures like I like minimal things as well.
Right.
So just a shot of the food.
Right.
No filters, no gimmicks, no nothing.
Right.
That's how like my pictures go. So okay, so a day of blogging.
Right.
I've decided I'm gonna go to East End, for instance.
Okay,
Which
yes.
I've already reviewed. Check it out
Check it out.
on my when I do the shameless plug on there. Yeah, so let's say I'm coming to East End.
Yeah.
I need to capture the ambiance.
Okay.
So I look out for like what's the general look? Is
Okay.
it rustic? Is it modern? Is it like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then obviously like paying attention to what kind of music they're playing, and what kind of
Right.
tone they're trying to set in the restaurant. Some people
Right.
like booga booga vibes.
Yeah.
Some people too like jazz in the afternoon. Jazz in the afternoon is
It's very you.
it's very me. But I try not to be biased. I just listen to see what the vibe is. So I order whatever, and then as I'm ordering, I'm waiting for my order. I'm like filming or taking pictures or just like asking waiters, waitresses questions about like what's going on.
Right.
And what they like or what they don't like, their suggestions and stuff like that. And so then I start taking pictures of the menu.
Okay.
Because I don't write when I'm there.
Right.
I just capture things that I know I'm going to use to jog my memory when it's time for me to write it down.
Right.
So when I get home is when I really like get into the process of looking at pictures and looking at videos and trying to go back to what the feeling was when I was there.
So I'm actually gonna cut you in there. It's so funny you said, oh, I look at the menu, I take suggestions from the staff, you know, I order something I like. It sounds all very organic, but I feel like now food blogging is asking the waiter, okay, which drink looks the nicest on the menu, or which drink looks the most colorful, or which food looks the most, you know, like it's that's I didn't want to use the word, but
it is what it is.
I feel like that's what it is now. But you are describing a process that sounds very organic.
Yeah, because I have a formula.
Yeah,
I feel like in everything that you do, you need to have a process, especially something that works. If I'm reading it, honestly, I won't even lie. I write for me. So if I like what I'm reading, I'm gonna put it out. You know. So if I don't like what I'm reading, then what is the point? So when I'm putting things down, I'm putting down information that I think is important to know. You need to know how much costs.
Yeah.
Can I share?
No.
Sorry.
I mean, but it's fine.
You need to know how much things cost.
Yeah.
When you get there, you need to know what type of vibe you're going for. If you get there and the waiters are horrible, customer service is horrible, you're not going to want to go. And I feel like I'm not going to say it's nice just because it's cool to say it's nice. If it sucks, it sucks.
It sucks, like, right? Yeah.
Why are we pretending? And I think, I mean, I'm not speaking on anybody. Because I don't know anyone. I only know me.
I love this side of her, you know. It's like
Mamestastes.
She got the shades on. That should tell you all you need to know. She's like, I'm bringing the shades, wearing the shades. You know, I ain't shady, but you know. Okay.
Mamestastes is the disclaimer. The tastes are strictly mine.
Yes.
So when I'm talking, I'm only talking on me. I don't know anyone else. I only know me.
Yeah.
But there are too many times where you'll see pictures and videos of some place that has suddenly, like, what's important to them is that their hallway becomes a runway. You got people walking up and down taking videos in their, you know, Fashion Nova finest. And then the food is costly. And absolute warm garbage. And so, like, what are we doing?
It's so funny you said that because instantly two places are coming to my mind.
Listen, I got seven.
This is not the shade room.
At all. And like I said, I only know me. I don't know anyone else.
I actually got into, I won't call it an altercation, but on social media, I spoke about a restaurant that greatly disappointed me. And I saw all the photos. When I say this, you guys are going to be like, hey, but it was on a rooftop. And the food was just, that's all I'm going to say, hot garbage. So I know what you're talking about. But everybody was using their backdrop. And I was like, how many people are going there? And the food just to take pictures. Horrible.
So, but you know, a lot, they go take pictures. Which, listen, you into fashion, go for it.
Yeah.
If you're into fashion, go for it. But don't also
lie
about being a food blogger, because Miss Mamas, you are not. And that's fine. You're here for the fashion. Give it to us. We love it. But you're lying about the food and you know it.
And you know it, right?
And you know it. Because you cannot tell me that 17 people can go to one place and still how? And each one comes complaining about how trash everything was, but only you
Yeah.
You got the best meal that day.
How?
Like,
Right?
I don't
How?
like that.
I
No.
don't like that either. So thank you for talking to that. And it's so funny you should say that. And you know, she's repeatedly said, "Listen, it's Mama's taste and it's my taste," because I feel like food blogging in itself is very subjective.
Very.
Yeah?
Extremely.
Because I could go somewhere and maybe, for instance, say I don't eat pork. And review everything on the menu except the pork dishes,
right.
and you know, I'm being biased. I'm not being entirely candid, and maybe I'm overhyping the beef or the chicken because I know that I don't eat pork. So you know, it's funny how it's become a thing, and we do cleave to your judgment, but don't you feel like it's a tad bit subjective?
It's definitely subjective, but that's why for me, I have a formula so that I'm not putting my personal feelings into it.
Yeah.
When I'm describing a place, I'm describing it to you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this spot is better than that spot because they use blue instead of orange.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
These people use blue, these people use orange, these people use yellow.
And that's it.
That's what you want to do with that information is up to you. For me, I'm very much an advocate of I will do my absolute best to be clear and concise with everything that I'm saying, but how you interpret the information that I give you, that's on you.
Yeah.
I'm not here to teach you how to understand.
Yeah.
Your brain power is your own.
Yeah.
So if you don't understand what I'm saying, that's cool.
That's on
that
you.
has nothing to do with me. My own is just to put out the information.
Right.
To tell you what it looks like. Add pictures so you know you can see
what
it
to look
yourself.
out for. Yeah.
If I get something and it tastes good, to me, because Mama's taste, I'm gonna say it tasted good. If I also get something and it doesn't taste good, I'm gonna say I didn't like it. But both times, I always say why. So if I like it, I say why I like it, and if I don't like it, I say why I don't like it. Most of the time, it'll be. I went to this restaurant that the whole Accra has been to.
I feel don't drop some names now. Drop names now.
You know, they handled it nicely, so maybe I will.
Okay.
At the end of the story.
Okay.
We'll think about it. But I went to this restaurant that everyone has been to. Everybody loves it. They have good this. They have good that. I've been a couple times and it was cool. Yeah. But the very last time that I went, I wasn't in the mood for any of the things that they had on the menu. I just wanted something simple to eat. Okay. So I got chicken and mashed potatoes. Right? Okay. In my mind, that's a pretty simple meal. Yeah. You can't really mess it up.
You can't mess up mashed potatoes, man. Yeah.
It comes back. It's lumpy. Lumpy and cold.
No.
Chicken breast dry as hell.
No.
I took one bite.
No.
I was done. So the waiter comes by and he's like, you didn't touch your food. I was like, it was atrocious. I hated everything about it. He's like, why? What did you hate about it? I said, it was lumpy. There were too many potato skins in it. Why didn't y'all say in the description that
potato skins?
I don't want that.
People are antsy about that kind of thing.
I don't want it lumpy. I like my mashed potatoes smooth, creamy, like
velvet.
Melt in your mouth. I don't want to chew through skin. Yeah. I didn't ask for that. Yeah. So he was nice about it and took it off the bill. But I was just like, I would much rather you didn't have to take it off.
Like,
just make
how
it good.
Did we get here?
The chicken breast was white with like some black and white,
like a dash.
I was like, please don't insult my taste buds like that. So if I go somewhere like that and I don't like it, I'm gonna say that.
And
I'm
gonna
not
say
scared
why.
of anybody. Exactly. I'm not gonna.
They can't do you who.
No one can do anything to me.
Yeah.
So that's
what it is, huh? But you see, now you describing the mashed potatoes tells me that you cook. Well, I know you cook. So do you ever try to replicate some of the recipes from like when you go out and all the time because you even at a point in your blog you would put out your own recipes and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm dying to ask you a question. Okay. A controversial question. Because I like trouble. I like trouble always. How do you, because you having been well traveled and, having some of your education abroad, and of course, me too, coming from Canada, how do you feel about, I mean, do you know where I'm going with this?
I feel like I do.
You feel like, because you're laughing already. How do you feel about cooking with marijuana?
I think it's great.
Yeah?
Yeah. But
Okay.
I think it's great because I think I'm all about experimenting. I've always said I'm a science student who likes food.
Yes.
That has always been my tagline
Your
because
MO, yeah.
I like to experiment. I feel like limiting ourselves to just one specific type of
Plants.
lifestyle.
Okay.
It's limiting. I think obviously everything that is an intoxicant to some level should obviously be like properly
Curbed or
researched and taken
controlled.
exactly.
Yeah.
It needs to be in a controlled environment, and it needs to be taken seriously. But I feel like if there are grown-ups who can handle the effects of marijuana and they're with it, why not? And if it's a problem,
because we cook with alcohol,
right.
So on the other hand of the conversation, it's like,
why not marijuana? My thing is, if we're cooking with marijuana, don't grate some leaves on it for me. You must know how to infuse it into the food, and then the food itself has to be something exciting.
Okay.
If you're putting cannabis in Hausa kuku, sorry, no disrespect, because I love Hausa kuku, but it's not special to me because my Hausa kuku can do without the marijuana. You feel me? So like, what's the point? But if you're giving me something, and there's a pineapple balancing on like a mango, pulling up to the table and it's infused,
then you're with it.
It's an experience.
Right?
I can get behind that.
Okay.
But like, I don't think there's anything wrong with using certain substances to cook wine, marijuana.
Okay.
But as always, I think everything should be done in a safe and controlled and adult and properly researched manner.
Right.
Like everything needs to be done when you're cooking with wine, you don't just pour that in there.
Yeah, of course.
Because it can even burn.
Yeah.
And no one's gonna want to eat that anyways, So you're careful, you research it, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Same thing with marijuana.
It's nice to have your take because honestly, because Ghanaians are very
Ghanaians are gonna use this to blackmail me if I ever try and stand for president.
Run for president, but it's okay.
I'm not trying.
I feel like eventually, as Ghanaians, we'll get to where we need to
Listen,
get to.
I have more controversial feelings on that, but they are not food related, so I'm gonna stop there.
A topic for another day. When we're doing a different type of documentary, then we'll get to that.
Absolutely.
Tell us about your podcast.
Okay, so I have a podcast with my friend Omkar.
Shout out to Omi.
It's called What's Your Flavor?
Okay.
The flavor is spelled the American way, simply because someone else had the English way.
Okay.
That's what we wanted, but we had to take the OR.
Okay.
So it's What's Your Flavor?
Right.
On Instagram.
Right.
What's You Are Flavor on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah. We just talk about the food scene. We talk about. We started when Accra hadn't shut down, so this was pre-2020.
Pre-COVID, okay.
So we used to there were a lot more events, a lot more things happening, a lot more fairs and markets and stuff. So we would go to those and write about it, and obviously because so many restaurants were popping up, we would film and do our own kind of on-site review, which was kind of fun. Yeah. And then we had to stop because there were germs outside. The podcast, very nasty germs. So the podcast, we just talk about food and in Accra, outside of Accra, global, it's a food podcast, maybe one of the only ones out of Africa or West Africa. So
it's certainly the only one I know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not learning enough.
Yeah,
but that's another reason why I have you here. People need to know about stuff like that. And you're just driving. You guys tune in. You can just put it on while you're driving, cleaning, or even cooking at home.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also had I'm thinking about bringing them back, but I
Yeah.
used to have these recipe boxes
Yes.
that I was really proud of because I would curate a playlist to go with it, and you could QR scan it. There was an Apple Music one and a
Okay.
Spotify one, so you scan it and then it plays.
Yeah.
I got that from one of my friends because we were cooking in his kitchen and he had like speakers in his kitchen.
Okay.
And so we were playing music, and I was just like, this would be
Yeah,
so
this
much
was so
fun for
fun,
people
right?
to have music playing while they're cooking. So that's one of the
That's
things.
awesome. And now
Yeah.
that you've said it, you know, some inglorious person's gonna run with it. So you should bring it back. And she said it here first, and it's her idea. So all of you thieves out there, we're watching you. So what would be your advice for like aspiring bloggers out there right now? Or what do you, okay, this is where again, I'm looking for, I know the kind of answer I'm looking for from you, but I don't know the kind of answer you
that
want to
you're
give.
gonna get. Ooh. Okay. What's
So
the question?
I would say in Accra right now, what do you wish was different about the food blogging scene? So I'll tell you about my problem. Sometimes some food bloggers are good. You know, you get the ambience, the name of the restaurant, what they ordered, and then I liked it. Okay, and
What
so
did you like about it?
yeah. Secondly, how much does it cost? And sometimes you don't even get what they had or what they ordered. You just get the ambience, the name of the restaurant.
A
Is
shot
it
of the food,
Italian?
right.
Is it Jamaican? Is it Ghanaian? Is it continental? Like, you know, so that's my problem. But hey, apparently I'm very problematic. But I mean, for you, what do you wish was different about the food blogging scene in Accra? What are some of the challenges that you think, you know, people are facing in terms of like accurate food blogging?
I think I'm gonna sound like a grandma, but social media has made it such that the individual voice is no longer heard. So you see someone, they do a reel, you like the reel, you copy the format of that reel, you do your version. You don't even try and put your own personal spin on it. You just do what they did. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
What makes it special is that
Yeah.
it's coming from you. So
Right.
what is so special about you? Because you and that other person are not the same.
Right.
So why is it special coming from you? Then
Yeah.
you put your own spin on it, your own voice. So that when I see what you're doing, I know that this is from you.
Yeah.
Such that like eyes closed, hands behind my back, if
Yeah.
I quote unquote hear your voice.
You know, that's
I know,
mommy's work. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's what makes it special. You're not more
Right.
special than anyone, but you're also not less special than
Right.
anyone.
Right. Right.
You are special in your own right. So
Yeah.
when you're putting out art or you're putting out information,
Yeah.
make it personal to
To
you,
you.
so that we know that it's coming from you and you didn't
Yeah.
take it from some. I mean, naturally, some
Okay.
things are going to be similar because food bloggers are going to go to the same places a lot of the time. We're all going to take roughly ish the same ish type of pictures. We might not always get the same thing because everyone does have different tastes, but like, do something special.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that because your special thing is the aerial view.
I mean,
That was one of the things I liked about you know your blogging.
Thank you.
And again, you would say if you want to do this at home, you can use this instead of this, or you can do that instead of that, or da da da. So
I don't even use
I guess-
measurements when I cook.
it's just that did you see that meme
The
that says
ancestor.
the ancestor when you're sprinkling seasoning?
Listen, I just eyeball it as I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, my mother says at every step you need to taste what you're doing.
Exactly.
So that's how I go. I
Okay.
kind of eyeball it, pinch a little bit of
Okay.
something. If I feel like it could use a little more color, then we, add a
we
little
go
more.
from there.
But it's just like being involved in the food is what, to me, I think makes it taste good. Because you're doing it to your taste.
Right.
Obviously, someone may love salt, someone hates salt, someone likes black pepper,
Yeah.
prefers white.
Yeah.
That's your thing. So
Right.
you do that for you.
Okay. I like that. I'm gonna ask you one question. This is not like a free. It's not an ad. It's just Mamestastes.
Okay.
What is your favorite thing to eat? What is your absolute favorite thing to eat?
Anything cold and creamy.
Cold and creamy, really, but not necessarily a dessert. So would you eat a cold carbonara? No.
I would.
No.
Yeah.
You nasty.
I feel like cold Italian food is in
No.
Yeah, cold pasta, cold pizza.
Really?
So good.
Cold and creamy. Okay,
Yes.
so in Mommy's taste, in Mommy's opinion,
Mm-hmm.
what is the best place in Accra to get something cold and creamy?
Frankie's.
Frankie's? Ice cream.
Listen. Frankie's soft serve ice cream.
Legendary.
It has not changed.
Legendary.
It is still creamy. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that ice cream is spectacular.
Yeah.
Shout out to Frankie's
Okay.
for maintaining that
Consistency.
recipe because woo, so good.
Okay.
Always.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot. Before we let her go,
We.
what is your favorite restaurant in? I feel like I know the answer. Wait, no. I want to say I know the answer, but I don't.
You
Wait,
might
okay.
know the answer.
I
I feel
might.
like everybody who knows me knows the answer.
If I get it wrong, don't please. It's not like I'm a bad friend. I think she's gonna say, and guys, honestly, this is purely organic. I think just by even watching her eyes twitch, her favorite restaurant is either Bistro or Polo.
No, hey,
It's fine.
love bistro.
You're allowed to like what you like and don't like what you don't like.
I don't hate them.
Okay.
But bistro
Yeah.
is my go-to.
Bistro's
Yeah.
your go-to.
Bistro's definitely my go-to.
It had to be one or the other. I should have just said
Definitely.
Bistro. I knew it was Bistro.
It was bistro.
I don't know why I was
That's what I'm
messing
saying.
about.
Everyone who knows me knows
you
it's
know there's
Bistro.
Yeah, you
Everyone
live
knows.
there. Yeah.
We are neighbors. at
Yeah,
this point,
you live there. But it's good. Well, thank you for coming. It's
Thanks
good to
for
have
having
you.
me.
Mwah. And I'll probably catch you somewhere.
Very soon.
We should do like a vlogging thing. See,
Okay,
I suck
sure.
at that. That's not my field though. So
Don't worry,
one
you're
of
a
these
chef.
days, yes.
You need a blogger on the side.
So then
We
we'll
go
pick a
together
nice place
with different
and then we'll go.
perspectives.
Yeah, I like that. See, I'm so sorry, girl. Okay, so I was squatting flies.
Okay.
Never mind. Yeah, it's fine.
What happened?
But
You want
no,
a high five?
I wanted a high five.
Let's
And,
high five.
yeah. Bye, guys.